The Black Rose McQueen. I wanted to give a shout out to Ring IQ Boxing, and remember to tune in to the motherfucking relay.
Welcome to the motherfucking relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Well, I'm sure that most of you have heard by now that Jarrell Miller has broken his silence in relation to his latest fiasco with performance-enhancing drugs and banned substances, and once again, he is crying foul. He is claiming he is innocent and that he never willingly took a performance-enhancing drug.
Okay.
He assures that his team, his legal team, is on the case, investigating how is it that once again, GW1516 was found flowing through his bloodstream, through his system. And he says that no one can be more outraged at this latest fiasco than he is, as it is costing him the most. That he should not be banned from the sport of boxing for life, and that he is prepared to carry out his suspension and abide by monthly testing. Too little, too late, some would say. The biggest problem with Jarrell Miller's story is that even if it checks out, even if it were true, it doesn't matter. The kind of established pattern of behavior, the track record already set forth by his previous transgressions, make him a hot potato, a guy who nobody's going to want to touch. Regardless of what happened here and now, it is the accumulation of these situations that make Jarrell Miller someone that no promoter is going to want to do business with. I'm very curious to see how the people over there at Top Rank are going to handle the situation, because I am anticipating that they will release him from his contract. As this all sounds too familiar, this is what you said the last time, and here you are, saying it again.
I know I messed up again with the world watching. I know it sounds crazy, but why in the hell would you think I would go back and do something repeatedly, knowingly?
These sanctioning bodies, these organizations, these promoters, they don't want to appear complicit with what it is you're doing. And if they were to turn the other cheek, yet again,
Look the other way.
Isn't that what they would be?
Complicit.
You know, the worst thing about this is it's actually possible to unwittingly ingest a banned substance via a supplement. Cross-contamination can happen as a result of a manufacturer failing to list said banned substance on their supplement, in their ingredients. It's actually possible, I don't know about plausible, but it's possible that Jarrell Miller might be telling the truth, that he unwittingly ingested a banned substance. It's just that how many people are going to take the chance and believe that story when I reiterate there is an established pattern of behavior, there is an established track record.
Yeah?
I mean, you might actually be telling the truth this time, but this time it doesn't matter.
But this item was listed. It was listed through my lawyer. VADA is known, and you know they do know about this product that was ingested. So it was beforehand of the fight was even being scheduled. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's what I'm saying. There's legal terminology and dates that are involved with the current situation.
What's interesting about Jarrell Miller's recent comments is that he says VADA provides a document for a fighter to inform them of anything that they might be taking. That VADA had prior information to whatever it was he was ingesting, and whatever it was is where the GW1516 could have come from. But even if that's the case, per VADA's own rules, the athlete is still responsible for what he or she puts into their own body. So having documented whatever it was he was taking, assuming that it's the way he says it is,
Right.
that's not going to exonerate him of culpability and what repercussions that comes with. Maybe the GW1516 came from something you were taking, and maybe you actually told them what it was you were taking, but that doesn't change that you took it.
I don't know what the hell that's supposed to do.
That Jarrell Miller has broken his silence and he is attempting to defend himself might be making news, but as far as the particulars of this situation, they really haven't changed.
Nobody's gonna believe you.
The WBC president's recent comments certainly aren't helping Jarrell Miller's situation. He says Jarrell Miller would not enroll in our testing program. He was quoted as saying, Miller specifically, he was expelled from the WBC because he failed to enroll in the clean boxing program not once, but twice. What I can say is that he's been out of the WBC picture for 3 years because we did not consider him eligible for rankings because he did not enroll in the clean boxing program. When he was first ranked, we sent them documents. He had 3 months to fill 3 pieces of paper, and he failed to do so. Then somehow they claimed they didn't have the papers, so we rang them again and sent them the paper. And he didn't submit twice. So he has been expelled from the WBC for 3 years. And you do realize that Jarrell Miller, some time ago, basically admitted to Kugan Cassius that he didn't enroll in the program on purpose. It was deliberate. If Jarrell Miller's issues with performance-enhancing drugs and banned substances did not come to the light sooner, perhaps it's because he had been skirting around anti-doping tests for 2-3 years?
You're not registered with VADA?
No.
No. For what reason is that?
At the time, I had a dispute promotional contract, and I didn't get around to it. But there's a lot of... I have my own hitting my own perspective on Nevada, and the reason why that I wasn't close to fight Deontay, I like how certain things were being done with the WBC, and on top of that, it was like, okay, it's evil of both worlds. A lot of things that list gets updated every 2 to 3 weeks. They add something on it. I'm like, how the hell can somebody keyboard all this crap you're adding to it? And on top of that is, I travel a lot. They want you to worry about you and everything you're doing, and if I miss them now, I'm getting suspended because you couldn't figure out my whereabouts. So I have to communicate. It's like I have another wife. I don't want to be bothered with that crap.
This guy used to want to fight Deontay Wilder. Maybe you guys forgot, but he was actually calling him out. And right around the time the clean boxing program was established, suddenly he wasn't all that interested in facing Deontay Wilder. Maybe what Jarrell thought is, you know what, I'll reshift my focus and I'll try to do something else, because if I go after Wilder, I'm going to be subject to anti-doping tests.
We don't want that.
All the red flags, all the indicators, they're all there. That whatever Jarrell Miller was doing, he was doing on purpose. It's a coincidence that you failed to enroll in the clean boxing program 2 times, knowing that you need to be enrolled in that program to pin down Deontay Wilder, who you quite conveniently stopped calling out.
Right.
These are all just coincidences, I'm telling you. I feel like here and now, there is very little that Jarrell Miller can do to salvage what's left of his career and his public image. He does have the appearance of one of the dirtiest fighters the sport has ever seen. Left to his own devices, he will resort to using banned substances to gain a competitive edge in spite of how dangerous the sport already is. He had the audacity, the nerve.
Big Baby accused you of using testosterone as a supplement, extra testosterone, because of your weight gain from the Olympics to becoming a pro. Was that proven?
So I'm on 2 anti-doping drug agencies since 2012. Before I went to the Olympics, I was enrolled in something called Whereabouts, where every day of the year, every year, I have to let them know, the drug agencies, where I'm going to be. So I give them between 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. And I have to let them know I'm going to be sleeping in this location. I have to give them an hour in a day. So they can randomly turn up and drug test me at any time throughout the whole year. So that's one agency that I've been on since 2012. And then I get tested like maybe three times a month. So put that 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So you talk about like maybe 36 times a year.
You get tested that often?
Yeah, a lot of times. And
shit,
also
the UFC need this shit.
So we go on Nevada testing as well. So when I fight, I pay now to put Big Baby and myself on VADA testing. So that means I'm being tested by 2 separate anti-doping agencies. So that's me explaining why I couldn't even put cheating in my mind, because I would definitely, it's like having police living with me and trying to sell drugs. It doesn't make sense. So that's that situation.
To accuse Anthony Joshua of being a drug cheat when Anthony Joshua is regularly tested by both UCAD and VADA and never once has popped 80 for a banned substance, and that guy gets tested way more than you have the last 3 fucking years. But you wanted us to believe that he's a dirty fighter, when in reality, you were just projecting your own inadequacies on him.
That's what it was.
You essentially convince yourself that it's okay for you to do what you're doing, resort to what you are resorting to, because in your mind's eye, well, that's what everybody else is doing. But I'll tell you what, sweetheart, Everybody ain't popping for HGH, EPO, and GW1516. Everybody ain't getting popped left and right the way you're getting popped left and right. So are you sure that's what's really going on?
That that's what everybody else is doing.
I've no doubt that there are that many more fighters out there clandestinely attempting to skirt around anti-doping tests. Jarrell Miller is hardly the first guy to get popped, and he won't be the last. But his case is particularly egregious because he's a repeat offender. You know, even when Alexander Povetkin got popped 2 times, the first time for meldonium and the second time for aspirin, he didn't pop for as many fucking drugs as they found in Jarrell Miller's system.
One sitting.
This guy was on enough gear for 2 guys. I think the fundamental question now is, how is Top Rank going to handle this situation? Because they have every reason to release Jarrell Miller from his contract and send him packing, send him on his way. They don't need to appear complicit, be in association with someone like Jarrell Miller. It's bad for their public image.
Terrible.
You could have seen how many times this guy's been caught red-handed with something in his system, and you decide to do business with him anyway? Jarrell really is facing an uphill battle here in what is a bid to clear his name and resume his career, which has been on hold for over a year. I just don't think that whatever investigation his own legal team is mounting is going to prove to be fruitful. I think that no matter what he does at this point, his name is permanently marred, permanently scarred in the sport of boxing.
No question. There's no question. You know, that was my Super Bowl. I've worked in this game, like on the, you know, business side for like 15 years. And like the heavyweight champion of the world, Madison Square Garden, like that is like the epitome of boxing, right? Like excited. And then when he tested positive, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I think I got a lot of, you know, hate because, you know, I was obviously protecting him and supporting him, and I wasn't making excuses. You know, it was more of the fact that I wanted him to be treated the same as everyone else that tested positive. You know, I probably shouldn't have pulled that card, but you know, it was what it was, and I'm very passionate about my fighters, you know, but this time around, obviously, it's there's no excuse for it. And he, like, I no longer work for his promoter, so it's not really my business now. But yeah, there's no excuse at this point.
When it happened after the Joshua, during the Joshua build-up, did you have those open conversations with him about what happened, what his thoughts were?
Yeah, he lied to me. You know, he obviously lied to me. He said he was getting shots for his elbow and, you know, like all this bullshit. And then it's like 2 other sepsises came and, you know, he just kind of clammed up about it, you know, and we didn't really have a talk. Like, it was just, there was nothing really to say at that point. You know, you lied, and that's that, you know. And then also, you know, I feel bad for Jarrell. You know what I mean? I feel bad for him because obviously he's lacking confidence. And I think it comes to the point where there's a mental health issue there.
That is Serafina, who, if you've seen this woman,
She's gorgeous.
is titillating. I mean, she's like a Christmas ham.
Delicious.
She was a former member of Team Miller. She has since parted ways with her former employers. Not amicably, I might add. And for Serafina, it's a simple case of karma, coming back to bite everyone in their proverbial ass. But more so, Serafina touched on something that I myself have touched on here on this channel, and something that our friend Boxing Beats and Rhymes touched on in one of his recent uploads. It has a lot to do with an inferiority complex, as that is what has left a fighter like Jarrell Miller so compelled to repeatedly resort
That is crap.
to these kinds of egregious and morally irreprehensible behaviors, as morality, morals in and of themselves are not a part of Jarrell Miller's vocabulary. Oh, he can utter the words, pronounce them, conjugate, but the meaning to a person like Jarrell Miller is lost.
He doesn't get it.
The meaning of the word. Morality, self-respect, and being a competitor. That
Is alien to him.
is lost on a person like Jarrell Miller. You know, from having been on social media all these years, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, here on YouTube, I've come to find out that there are more mentally ill, sick, maladjusted, uneven individuals out there in the world, not just the world of boxing, but the world in and of itself, than we care to realize, than me and you might be aware of. Observing how different people react when their perspectives are challenged, not by another set of perspectives, but by reality itself. That when those two things do not align, when they do not coalesce, these individuals crumble.
You have a fucking meltdown.
They can't take it. They can't handle it. And in a bid to
protect,
validate their own perspectives, they are willing to resort to all manner of strange, maladjusted practices. I think something very similar is true here when it comes to Jarrell Miller, as you cannot derive a sense of pride in yourself.
What you do.
Your abilities as an athlete, as a competitor. Pride has little to nothing to do with how you view yourself.
You resort to this.
In retrospect with others, you couldn't have viewed yourself as Anthony Joshua's equal, that he had met his match, resorting to what Jarrell Miller had resorted to.
Felt inferior.
Better still, you must have had
Inadequacy issues.
Residual feelings of inadequacy to resort to the exact same thing that costed you a multi-million-dollar payday.
You got no pride.
You must have still felt that you couldn't hack it if you have to turn to it just to fight Jerry fucking Forrest. You need to pursue a competitive edge via synthetic drugs to fight Jerry fucking Forrest. What does that say about how Jarrell Miller views himself as an athlete, how he views himself as a competitor? It would seem that he doesn't view himself as a competitor at all. He needs a competitive edge just to compete, and that speaks to his inferiority complex. Victim culture. In his mind's eye, this irreprehensible behavior is justified. The ends justify the means because he projects his own inadequacies, his own feelings about himself on others. He tells himself that this is what other people are doing, so this is what I'm going to do. Because I can't do it on my own. I can't do it. And he has shown that he is willing to repeatedly cheat, thereby endangering the life of the man opposite the ring of him. He's willing to lie to those closest to him within his circle. And no matter how much this pattern of behavior costs him, multi-million-dollar paydays, pride, and legacy, he'll do it again, so long as you let him. Left to his own devices, this is what he will do, because he's mentally ill.
I mean, if that's not a sign of mental illness, I don't know what is.